Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator, and today we're going to talk about looking for deals in 2021. So the year 2020 was pretty devastating for folks all around the world. We tracked the pandemic as it spread across the globe, causing fear and panic and uncertainty. And not to mention the riots that were also happening, mostly in US cities, but also in other parts of the world. With that, we saw people in desperate need and desire for weapons that they can use to defend themselves. This led to panic buying guns and ammo. But also during this time, there were a lot of good deals. Since the demand had gone up for modern firearms, a lot of the Milsurp collectibles kind of went down a little bit. And from my perspective, it seemed like you could find a really good deal on military surplus if you looked around. We also saw the price raise dramatically with Mosin Nagant rifles. I'm not saying that the collectibles lost any of their value. It just seemed like most stores didn't really want to have them sit on their shelves and were reluctant to get rid of them. So as 2020 comes to a close, what we're seeing now is a huge demand for ammo for a lot of these weapons that were bought previously. So what are we going to see in 2021? What we may see in 2021 are new gun laws. But first, I think we need to get the economy back in shape and get people working again. And then maybe a little down the line, we might see the gun laws come into play. Could be 2022. And if you don't know about some of the gun laws that might take effect, you can see the link down in the description. So in 2020, I saw a lot of good deals and found some things that were way undervalued. So I'm guessing in 2021, we might see the same thing depending on how the economy can get back into shape. So my first tip is to pulverize the like button and subscribe. Helps out with the algorithm. Thanks. But no, seriously, my first tip is to check your local shops as much as you can, as frequent as you can, because you never know when you're gonna find a good deal. And the only way to find a good deal is to be constantly on the move, constantly checking out the shops. Like if you have an appointment or you got errands to run and maybe one of the shops is on the way, stop at the shop for like 5 seconds, look on the shelf, see what they got. A lot of shop owners will tell you you just never know what's gonna walk in that door. And if you can be there when something walks in, or maybe a couple hours after something walks in, then you could possibly score a deal. Tip number 2 for getting a good deal: check online. There are tons of websites that sell surplus online. You might be able to also find a good deal on auction websites. Just watch out for the fees. And then of course, check your local listing websites. Tip number 3, I've always found my best deals talking to folks locally. You get to know the shop owners. You get to know the usuals that walk in there. And every so often you might be talking to a gentleman and one day he might want to sell one of his classic antique rifles. And because he may have bought it at a time where they weren't as expensive, he might not know current value, or he might not care to really let it go. But what he would care about is allowing it to be sold to somebody that would take care of it and curate it. Also, if you talk to some of the shop owners, they might know when the good deals come in. Give them your phone number. Tell them to call you when something walks through the door. So it always helps to be talking to folks that are within the same surplus collector groups. Also talk to some collectors online. I suggest joining groups. Bonus tip. So you probably spend the majority of your time at your job. There might be a lot of folks within your work environment. So try to talk to people and find out who the gun guys are within your work environment, and who are the guys that actually collect Milsurp rifles or have some exposure to Milsurp. So later on down the line, if you have a good connection with somebody within your work environment that also is into military surplus, you guys might be able to do some trading, or maybe he might be liquidating or she might be liquidating. But it always helps to get to know people also within your work environment. Well, those are the tips. I hope you guys are ready for 2021. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and check out some of my other videos, or you could look us up on Instagram and Facebook.